Hi, this is Aliki from the Healthy Gut Expert Summit. I'm just here. We're actually live now on our Google Kick-Off party. So I'm just going to wait till a couple of other folks join. Hey, we've got a couple of viewers on. Hey, welcome. Oh, 10 of you. Awesome. So I'm actually just trying to get the chat box ready up here so I can see what you're all saying or asking. Thank you so much for being on. Let me know in the group chat what your names are, who you are. Just say hi. Let me know if you've got questions. I've got a couple of my team members here. I'm so excited to be here. So I'm just going to wait while folks roll in, and we're going to kick this party off. I've got a couple of things I want to run through logistically for you, hopefully answer questions about the Healthy Gut Experts Summit, healthygutexperts.com. Thanks for being here. So tell me hi. Say hi on the right on the chat here if you can. See what you'll see on the left on the Google Live here. You should be able to see where you can embed some comments and write me some messages and say hey. All right, it's right on the hour, 3 p.m. EST. So I'm just going to wait till a few more folks roll in. Excellent. They're coming in at like 10 at a time. This is great. The numbers. The more the merrier. All right. If any of you have questions, please, about the Healthy Gut Expert Summit, logistics, any questions, a good question. You'll find that out about me. Please write that here in the chat. And if you need to share this link with anyone, I'm going to actually place in the chat box here. There we go. It's in the events section on our Facebook page. If not, the YouTube channel, just send them a link to this. You can go underneath the video and go to the share button. Awesome. See, Facebook is messaging, people are messaging. All right, awesome. We've got a few folks on, so I'm just going to wait a couple more moments here. Again, I would love for you, if you're not already in the Facebook group, just go into your email and click an email. Go into Facebook and write me in the events section or on my video on there that I did a Facebook Live a few hours ago. Just let me know what questions you have so I can start doing that. And, of course, please, if you can, pop them in the chat box here. That would be awesome. And I want to make sure I answer the questions. Again, any questions a good question. We don't differentiate. And I'm going to run through agenda, logistics, some of the surprises we've got in store for you. And you can email me too. I've got the email coming up, so it's going to immediately come in so I can see what questions you have. All right. With that being said, it's about 5 past the hour. I think we should get started. I'd just love to see your name so I can see who's actually on. Hi, everyone. I'm just going to type here. Please say hi. Let me know your names and where you're from. Now you're starting to see my multitasking happening. All right, so I'm going to be popping in and out of the Facebook group to look at comments and questions. I've already written some down from emails, and that's really important to me. I just want to make sure we can answer your questions. And I see a few of you invited folks to the event in the group, which is awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. We've got questions on recommendations. All right, awesome. Keep those coming. Okay, let me see what's happening here. All right. My team's messaging me. will be a couple of moments, and then we should just get started. Just let me know if you can see the group chat here on... all right, awesome. I just can't see who's there and where they're from. Can you just message me, Heidi? And then I'm going to pop out of Facebook right now so that it's noise, the binging. Okay, sorry. I'm just going to... I have this, choose links. It just feels like I'm blind, really. The bottom right chat for viewers. So I can see viewers. I just cannot see who you are. But now I'm getting told who you are, so that's awesome. We've got Sherry on the line, and I've got Heidi on the line. So you're from Minnesota. Awesome. Hey, Christine. Christine and Heidi, by the way, are part of the team that are going to be in the Facebook group, which you will see. So just introductions. Welcome, Rosemary from New South Wales. Awesome. We're in the same time zone. And Susan from Fairfield. Beautiful. Actually, I interview a few of the doctors who have spent a considerable amount of time in Fairfield. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Veronica from Bolivia. That's awesome. Alexandra from the UK. It is very late in the evening for you. Thank you for being here. Deanna from Vegas. Thank you. Hey, Dr. Keith. Thank you so much for being on this event this morning. Beautiful. Awesome. And then someone's got a beautiful name called Happy Spirit. Hi. From Florida. That is exciting. Awesome. So... and I'm going to start on with the agenda now. And if there's any questions that you'd like to message me, let me know and we'll get onto those. Now, I've looked at emails. I've looked at the Facebook group. So before we do that, let's dive into the agenda. And all I ask is that you have an open mind and an open heart. Okay? And because, you know, sometimes we turn up to places where it's the right place, the right time to discover the right opportunity that's been under our noses or has veiled itself even through a challenge. So I want you to take that to heart and to note, and that's what I feel guided to share with you all. Firstly, I want to thank you all for being a part of the Healthy Gut Expert Summit, whether you're an expert, a helper, practitioner here for extra information, a participant who wants to make an effect in their own life or their own life for their family, or if at the stage in your life where you know that you can actually be empowered to make a change, where you become, you know, aware of your options, you're the observer, you can make that change, you can actually take a high quality action towards your thriving health. And that's what we're all about, is breakthroughs, empowerment, helping you become your own health advocate. Even if you're already a health advocate today, more of a health advocate for yourself and others, and holding that flag, right? Holding that torch and being that. And that's what we really are hoping to achieve here. And what I'd love to do is maybe run through some of the housekeeping on the agenda very quickly here, just so that everyone's clear. And I know you've received an email from me and my team, so thank you for being here. What I'd love to cover is how you're going to handle the fire hose of information during the summit, because there's a lot of information, and that's partly why I put the playbook together. Now, I'll get to that in just a moment. I want to be able to answer your questions, both in the Facebook group is the ideal place. Of course, with the email, it's a little difficult because the response time, there's thousands of emails, but my team and I, because I'm in Sydney right now, they're in the States, we do cover all time zones pretty much. But I want to encourage you to ask questions and join the Facebook group if you haven't already. And come in there and, you know, tag me. Some of the experts are showing their beautiful souls up in there as well. And my team, Heidi, Christine, and I will be there to help answer your questions and help the journey during the summit be as informative for you as possible. Okay. The other thing I'd love to cover is a little bit about what to expect. I want to share with you the key resources that we've put together for you about this summit and this event, so that you can get what you need out of it, and the resources are under your nose right there for you, and how to get the most out of it. And of course, I'd love to share with you a little bit about mindset, maybe mindset, heart set, and how you can unify you and connect you more to the, you know, the natural intelligence that your body has to help you heal from the inside out. And that's why we've personally sourced various speakers. So if I may, I'm just going to introduce myself. You may have seen my bio. I'm just so enthused to have you here. And for some of you that may or may not know, I've been working hard on this for several months now and reaching out to all the amazing experts that I know through our connections, through our community, to come and bring you this information. So as you can see, I'm still excited about this event, and we haven't even launched. We're going to launch tomorrow. But what I'm sharing is the excitement and the enthusiasm, and what I know you're going to be empowered with will resonate greatly for a lot of you. And that's why you're here, because there's never any coincidence. I know there's summits after summits and events after events, but I want to firstly appreciate you for taking the time out for you to help you with your own health and the health of yourself and your families, because you have an ability to feel, you have an ability to experience, and I want you to have the best experience possible. And even for a week, if you just decide to make a change and a shift in your mindset, then let's do that together. That's why we've got the community. You're not alone. And I've got a couple of notes here from questions that have come through. I want to address those shortly. So with that being said, a little bit of background. So again, we put this together, the Healthy Gut Expert Summit, where you can learn strategies to heal your digestion naturally. And basically our goal and intention for you is to discover the proven cutting edge strategies that you need to literally gain more control, more mastery rather, and to regain control of your digestive health, even when everything else has failed. And you know what? A couple of you, I've heard you, some of you are so sweet, like when we've asked questions, what brought you here? And you're like, long story. I think that's awesome. The longer the story, the more complex the case. I want you to know you're in the right place, that rhymed, at the right time, okay? Because some of our experts will actually share their own personal journey about their own perceived complex case. And I'm hoping that that touches you in a place and a raw nerve or resonates with you so that you know that there's hope, okay? So if you write a couple of things down, if I may ask you to, write down, just for 1 week, give yourself a break, as in give yourself the goodness that you are, and know that if there is a challenge, there's an opportunity to the equal degree. So just write that challenge, opportunity, because I want you to find the opportunity for you in this conversation. All right, cool. So the next thing, I've personally sought 38 experts who are amazing souls, who are out there with their hands up either through their own experience or because they want to affect and make change. They're doctors, health professionals who will share, and I can tell you they will share, the most up-to-date, accurate, actionable information and natural approaches to digestive health and holistic ways to support your immune system. They'll help you understand why so many people are suffering from digestion issues and how and why people get misdiagnosed, as well as what works when everything else has failed. How do I know this? Because I've been around for at least 2.5 decades in this field, and I have been fortunate to have learned from the best in the industry. But I want to share with you that what they're going to share with you is some of the information and the environment that you're exposed to really isn't your fault, okay? So I want you to lift off the veil and lift off that lid to self-blame. That's what I'm getting that I need to share with you. So I just want to be really clear on that. The next thing is they'll help you separate the claims from the truth and help you sort out some of the conflicting information, okay? They'll also share with you some natural effective solutions that are not only easy to implement, because we do go some baseline things. You'll be like, oh my gosh, that sounds so simple, but I have a complex case. But I want to tell you that when you do the simple things, do one thing that is good and reach for good and do more of that, it actually works over the long haul. Now, two folks that come to mind, like Dr. Vincent Pedre talks about that, and a little bit of gratitude, which helps you with the mindset, actually. So does Steph Safandos, and then you've got Don Tolman and you know, folks like Dr. Tom O'Brien, Dr. John Douillard, and Dr. Keith, who's on the line here, and Dr. Emma and Maya, they really talk a lot about consciousness. And some of the most amazing, and including Dr. Rick Sarnett. Now, if I also may say, we've got a couple of experts I'll go into in a moment that have complex cases from their own experience. The take on the complex cases, we're talking 5 to 10 different chronic diagnoses. So why should you listen to a few of these is because I want you to know that there's hope. And even if you think, gosh, I'm not as bad as that, what they're going to share with you might appear as simple, but it's highly empowering information. And one of you may actually know someone who's got something similar. And if that resonates for you, I would love for you to actually reach out to your friend, colleague, or family and invite them to come on this event, because this is where the change takes place, is when you put your hand up to help others as well. And this is when the fulfillment starts, okay? So I'm going to dive through the agenda. So sorry, I just went off because that's what I felt like sharing. So I know that these experts, again, some are in the community as well as me, we're committed to helping you learn how to solve your digestion problems once and for all. I said that. Once and for all. Okay. So when we're setting our intentions for this week, I'd love for you to really think about a goal that you have, a challenge that you may perceive that you have as well, and actually have. Maybe from being a child, and some beautiful souls have written in and shared that with me here as well. And I want you to look at and think, well, if I'm healthy, and I find my health, and I find that alignment, I find that needle mover, that piece of information is going to help me. What is that going to help me to do or be more of? When you think like that, you're in wonder, you're in open-mindedness, and then all of a sudden you can start to literally transcend limitations. That's what I said. So let's go into the agenda. Well, actually, before just that, I mentioned that before, I'm going to share with you a little bit about who I am. This is the 4th online event that I've run. I've run many virtual events for corporation. I've run hundreds of massive in-person events in huge environments, like, you know, Vegas and Florida and Australia and California, in major centers with thousands of people. I love to run and host events, and I love to bring the best of the best information to you to discern what's best for you, because you have the ability to do that, okay? And so I'm a summit host. I've done many, and I've always been in the health field as well as the corporate technology field. So it's my actual great pleasure to share with you a lot of the key healing modalities and how and why we've put this summit together. So I've got a career of over 24 years in technology and business and leadership as well, and yoga teacher, trainer, meditation teacher, practitioner. I've got all of that stuff. You can look up my bio. But it's really not about me. It's about you and what you're going to gain and learn from this event, because I'm here for you, as are the experts, because we're really enthused to hear what you find out about you that helps you be more you. I'm really excited for that. Okay, so, and I genuinely am. You can feel that from me. I hope you can. So if anyone wants to ask any questions, keep the questions rolling. I've got my team messaging me them. I can multitask. We'll get to them. I'm so excited. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is part of my background is that I actually grew up from folks who were born and raised in villages in Greece. So I've always grown up in a biodynamics environment. I might look and appear and be a business or in like a city girl, but or city lady, right? But I grew up with the ancient ways and very much biodynamics type of background, being self-providing through your farms, through the community, through celebration, through movement, through dancing, through the culture, and like a tribe. That's how I grew up. And we took a lot of those qualities of growing up with a very simple life, even though we lived in the city. And this is part of the secret to how I am very aware of how to sustain great levels of health sustainably so that you thrive, and then you can help others with it as well. So I'm really excited to share that with you, and that just brings you into my world a little bit. Okay, so let me deep dive a little bit more about the history of why I put this summit together with a dear, dear friend and sponsor. I want to introduce Dr. Audrey Lanford. She's the CEO of Australian Excellence. Now, she and the business is actually the creator and sponsor of the Healthy Gut Expert Summit. So I'm truly grateful that they've backed me up in order to bring this information to you as well. Because, you know, she wanted, in spite of how much success her company is having, Australian Excellence, and how much they've been achieving, what I want you to know is that Audrey's also run an Inc. 500 company before as a CEO and founder. But because of her background in helping many people, she also realizes that not one product is perfect for everybody, and not one protocol is perfect for everybody. And I also know, and I want to acknowledge you for being here, because like Dr. Sue says, no one is youer than you. Okay, and so not one size is going to fit all. That's why we've got the variety for you to discern. Now, here's where the summit came into play, because she approached me and we talked about this. She created this idea and for me to host it because she wanted to bring the world's best experts together with, you know, to help people with a digestive problem so that people can have good options to get real relief, from bloating, gas, chronic fatigue, ailments, dis-ease in the body, right, or in the mind, stomach pains, heartburns, diarrhea, constipation, all of those serious digestive problems. And she personally has experienced digestive issues as well. And through her research and through a loss of a dear family member because of digestion issues that turned into some, you know, heart attack, she's on a mission, like I am, to help millions of people stop suffering and find a real solution to the digestive issues. And so with that being said, she's also offering some great giveaways. There's goodies and surprises as a part of the summit too. So that's why I want for you to stay engaged with us in the Facebook group, okay? I know a lot of you are very busy, and I know Facebook can take you down the garden path, but I want you to know that when and if you're listening to interviews, if you've got questions, if you've got asks, no, every question is a good question. Please know that. I would love for you to stay in touch with us in the summit, through the course of the summit, and let us know what you're thinking. Ask us questions, because I want you to be there when we give away the goodies and have these surprises ready, okay? So she's planning on some great surprises, so keep an eye out for them, and that's the best way to do that, okay? Now, Australian Excellence is actually, it's produced extraordinary results for customers in the past few years. I know I've got the products here. My son and I ingest them. We love them, also as a maintenance. And it's actually, the results are astonishingly as a high rate of return as well. And it's very generous. The way that they've put the research and the information together is phenomenal. And you'll see me referring a few of you to some of the action guides in the bonus section. There's a couple there about why am I gassy and bloated, and another one about the 10 superfoods that heal your digestion and soothe your tummy. And few of the experts, a lot of them have also touched on them too. So it's also like in a one-stop document that I think is really amazing. So I want to bring that to your attention because I know what works. Now, I've got a couple of other folks that are chiming in as well. Hey, Joey's asked a couple of questions. Thank you so much. Goodness, you've got a SIBO breath test. That's awesome. We're going to talk about that. Laurie, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Excellent. I've got a couple other folks. Faye asked questions. Jackie asked questions. Wanda and Valerie, and a few of you, if you want to announce yourself, please let me know who you are, where you're from. I want to say hi and greet you appropriately. Okay, so let's talk about the agenda again. I'm going to go back into it because a few of you have just joined. One, please write down, if I may ask you to think or write this down. What's your number one goal around your health and digestion? I want to also ask you, what is your number one challenge about digestion or health? It could be anything, mind, body, relationship to health, anything around your challenge. Now I want you to write next to challenge, opportunity. You know why in a minute. Challenge closes you off. An opportunity brings openness, okay? And remember what I said when I initially started, I would love for you to have an open mind and an open heart. And we'll go through a brief protocol after I go through the agenda. I want to answer questions too. Okay, so how are we going to get through the fire hose of information that you're going to receive through the summit? Well, we're going to talk about that. I want to answer all your questions, the ones that have been messaged here, so message them in. I want to spend time with Q&A towards the end here. And then also, I want to share about our community and how we can hold each other up going and progressing through this next week. And then again, how you navigate the resources that we've put together, like the playbook, the Facebook group, the sessions page, how long interviews be ready for, when they're launching, you know, all of that logistic stuff. So consider this like a housekeeping master of ceremonies conversation. And then, of course, you know, the big picture, I want to help you with your own plan. All right. So with that being said, maybe I'll just go through some of those items first. The resources. If you want to write this down, please go ahead. I want to share with you what I've put together with my team, who I've got a beautiful team helping us here in the group. There's Christine Field and Heidi Thompson, and you'll probably see Dr. Audrey popping up every now and then, Audrey Lanford, because of the giveaways from Australian Excellence Centre. Thank you so much for being here. So keep an eye out for that. Facebook group is the best place to do that. So if you're not already a member, and I'd love for you to request to join, and Heidi and I will get you in ASAP. And we also ask you some high quality questions because we want to know how to best address your needs throughout the course of the week or so, all right? Logistics, write these down. Here are the components that are going to help you get the most out of the summit. Firstly, just to check your email at least once a day for the summit. You'll see an email from me, Aliki at Healthy Gut Experts. I'm going to send you 2 emails a day. The first one is going to give you an outline of the sessions for the day and who is on the schedule, okay? That's going to come out at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US. It's bright and early here in Australia. So I've pre-configured it like a cooking show in advance with my team, who are awesome. So I want you to know that we'll kick off the 24-hour period where you can watch the experts being interviewed by me for that day to your heart's content, okay? Some of them, and most of them, are video interviews, and a lot of them, some of them are audios as well. There's only about 6 or 7 audio interviews. Now, with that interview, I've highlighted a little bit about that expert, and they will have a link to keep in touch with them, okay? Or a free gift or a quiz or a bonus. So the sessions, if you haven't already, write down playbook. The playbook is also, should be in the file section of the Facebook group, and the playbook would have been emailed to you on the 23rd, actually, in the States, on the date of the 23rd, the 24th in Australia, and the EU. And in that playbook, we promised 21 tips and strategies, and I went and extracted them all. I wrote that whole thing. So pardon me, I know there's no Aussie spelling, but hopefully you will find it of great value. I took some of the top strategies that I felt you could start with before the summit launches and actually review. I've also put the day schedule together with each expert and some lines underneath each expert, because I want you to take notes or think of the one thing or 2 things that resonated for you as a key piece of information, but then also take an action with that, okay? So that's in the playbook, and I want to deep dive into that in a few moments here. But please download that playbook and start to think about planning your week, because we've got 38 experts over 7 days, otherwise known as a fire hose of the most awesome information that we could source for you. What I love about these experts is they're really open, courageous, honest, transparent, and they really share a lot of information that, you know, you would otherwise try to get from them, you know, if you could even get any time with them. A lot of these experts also educate practitioners all around the globe. In fact, a couple of them are here in Australia for a functional medicine conference. A few of them I know from the States personally, as well as Australia. but most of them are from the US. Now, here's the deal. They've shared so much information. I would love for you to just intend to listen about what you're looking to find out, the topic. Go through the playbook. Start to pick the agendas that resonate for you. I want you to almost scroll through with your finger and pick those up. And then write them down, and then go and mark who you want to watch on that day. Each interview, there's only a few that really went around the 40-minute mark, 35, 40. They're all around half an hour. So I want to prepare you. They're around half an hour, okay? So just put that time aside. I can tell you that you could listen to them driving home. Do not write while you're driving. Do not look while you're driving. I have to say that as a disclaimer these days. But also, I want you to spend some time for you, because when you spend time with you, magic can happen. I know you might be scarce for time, but I want to share with you, when you spend time with you, your desires, the good in you, the natural intelligence in you, then I want you to absorb the information that you need for you. Because some of you I know have also acquired the Platinum Pass, which, to be quite honest, one expert gift is, if you were going to buy it outside of this event, will be worth 5 times as much. Like Dr. Tom O'Brien's offering a 30-day free membership to a whole series of where he discusses more about autoimmune and health and self-healing. I mean, it's phenomenal and informs you. It's a 30-day free membership. Like, I was like, thank you so much. There's a quiz, like Dr. Keith has a Doc Gut quiz that's going to help you get an understanding of where you're at. You've got a skin quiz from Dr. Trevor Cates. There's so much information in the free gifts here, but then in the bonus section, the Platinum Pass, they've gone all out to be generous. So I want you to know that it's of high value. And, the 37 one-time offer, or the $47, is really a no-brainer in the grand scheme of things, because you have a research library to inform yourself with and go back and listen to again. And part of what I love about the amount of interviews that I've participated in or been interviewed, but the amount of interviews I've done, and I've run executive corporate roundtables, big events with hundreds of people, been up on stage presenting. One thing that I know that I can do well, and I hope that I've done that for you, is draw out the key information that you will need to take action. We can read, we can listen, but I want you to take in notes at least one thing that you're going to take action for from each event, each interview that you listen to. And if you've got questions or concerns, or you want to know which one you want to prioritize, write us in the Facebook group, tag me, let me know, and we'll help you, okay? That's why we're here. We're in a community. We're not here to do it alone. In fact, a couple of folks are real sweet. They were really honest. And a woman called Wanda actually wrote me, hi, Wanda, if you're listening or watching the replay here. She wrote and she says, look, I had no idea that so many people had so many digestion issues. And I'm like, no, it's a real problem. And some things are so private, people just suffer in silence. Please do not do that. Some people have been very sharing about stuff, like, do it, share. We're here to help. Now, I've had a couple of other folks join. I think it was Laurie. Hey, Laurie. Joey, Lancer, you got some great questions. Teresa as well. Hey there. Awesome. And Lindy, yes, we'll be covering Candida. We cover so much stuff. I'm going to go into the answers for the questions soon. I just want to make sure the logistics are noted. Okay, the playbook. I think I've belabored the point enough. Schedule. Who's on and when. We're going to offer all the expert interviews on that day for around 24 hours. It'll kick off 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US. So please take a look at the playbook, plan ahead. And the reason I love this too is when you set your goal or your challenge that use an opportunity. Remember I said right challenge, right opportunity. You're going to literally strike while the iron's hot. It's phenomenal. You'll be able to take this information and put 1 or 2 simple things in place and make a big effect because they're needle movers. And when you listen to these experts, you'll hear it and see it and feel it from them and their journey, either personally or sharing someone's case study. They've really treated you. I mean, you're not doing this alone. They've treated hundreds to thousands of people with similar scenarios, autoimmune, complex cases, SIBO, parasitic infection, digestive issues, gas, bloating, reflux. The amount of people that have written in on reflux. I've actually, I can guide you on which interviews may cover some of the specific symptoms you've got. Hey, Alexandra, thanks for joining. Oh, my goodness. Yes, absolutely. There's so many different diets recommended, and the elimination. You're going to love the angle that a lot of these experts take, because they don't want you to just live off a blade of grass. You know, they're going to be really pragmatic and informative about the high, you know, the big needle movers of things to move out of your diet just to shift for a period of time, and why, and then what you can reintroduce back. And some of them even have fasts or cleansing programs or information that you can discern and read and feel into if it's the right thing for you. So great question. So I think what I'd love to do is talk a little bit about mindset, and I want to spend the remainder of our time together here going through questions for everybody. So hang in there with me. I think a lot of the questions are going to help you. If anyone wants to introduce themselves, say hey in the chat box here so we can see you, and you know, welcome you here, because we're so happy that everyone is here for this event. So we're going to kick off the dates, January 25th to the 31st. And we've got the Facebook group. That's another key resource I want to bring to your attention, because it's actually a lot more special than you possibly may imagine versus, you know, conversations, taking down the garden path. There are people in there that are also sharing what's worked for them, whether they're experts, practitioners, or folks having experienced something that you may have had yourself, or you're too shy to talk about. Some people are talking about stuff. So please join us on the Facebook group, because like Wanda said too, you really don't have to do this alone, okay? The community is here, so you're not alone. We're all here together, and we're here for a while, and let's keep that momentum, because anything that's, you know, we can't do it alone. That's why the community is so important. So that's why we're also doing this Hangout. Now I'm going to pop on and do Facebook Lives. And if a few of you have a lot more questions and many more, or you're like, oh, I love this interview, I want to know more about this topic, let me know. Let Heidi, Christine, and I know. And I'll put some Facebook Lives together for you all, and we'll all touch base and connect. One other thing on the agenda I want to bring to your attention here. Let me just make sure I cover it off. Here we are. What to expect. Let's deep dive into that. What to expect, but then also I want you to have the playbook handy, because this is going to resonate with a lot of you, I think, and be of great value. Only because I know that the mindset and how you approach this week will be greatly beneficial for you. All right? Without a doubt in my heart. Because I've spent so much time interviewing these folks. It's just phenomenal. And the gifts that they've put together in the Platinum Pass is really, really generous. And I know a few of you could even take like the smoothies, or the actual favorite gut healing smoothies from Dr. Dan Pompa, or the 10 superfoods from Audrey and Dr. Audrey, and a few of those things will change everything, including like the biphasic diet protocol from Dr. Narala Jacoby on SIBO, the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. There's, you know, a 4-day short cleanse from Dr. John Douillard, and a liver and gallbladder cleanse too. So what can you expect from the information that you're going to learn here? The bottom line is, if you take some of these practices to heart and actually take action, you'll be more regular. You will. You will not suffer from the constipation or the runs to the degree that you have before, or the gassiness. You're going to find and learn about key foods that are probably causing that, key lifestyle things that you're going to want to change, key techniques you're going to want to employ, exercises you're going to be able to do, but also foods that you're going to want to really start to consider that are natural and as close to nature as possible in the summit. And so many ways and practices, so you're not running to the bathroom all the time. So you're going to learn how you can be more regular, not only regular as a metaphor for physical, but, you know, for yourself, to show up for yourself, okay, as your own health advocate. You're going to have more energy. Even if you're in the Facebook group, I can assure you, you will feel the energy and the high vibe from all of us there. You'll actually have more energy because you'll learn about how to eat the right foods, your body type, how to properly digest. I mean, even the few speakers actually talk about being present with your food, you know. You'll start to look better because you're simply more enthused about the information you're receiving that you know you can take a high quality action for. And you'll start to look better. Your skin might clear if you do 2 or 3 things. You'll decide, geez, I'm going to hydrate a lot more, have a lot more water, maybe add some sea salt or minerals to my water. It's all going to start to show up for you in the way you feel. You'll learn, you know, things about the brain fog and what's actually going on. You'll hear something and you'll make it change, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 days later, you're going to start feeling better. You'll gain key action steps and insights because, as we said, we put this together because not one protocol fits all and not one size fits all. I can tell you that, and I can assure you of that, and that's why we've given you options. So I want you to please look at the playbook and review the you know, some of you are here because some of these practitioners and experts are already someone that you deeply value and their information, and you've already had amazing change from working with them, whether remotely reading their books or studying their programs. So I'm grateful that you're here, and I really want you to take more action towards better, thriving health. The next thing is you'll discover other options about how to deal with digestion problems too. They'll offer ideas that you may not have thought about before because they've dealt with hundreds to thousands of cases. And you'll feel empowered. You'll be your own health advocate. That's what we're really into, and that's what we really want you to find for you. Be your own health advocate. That's a common theme. So if I may direct you to the playbook, page 24, page 24 and page 25. Here's where we're going to talk about how you can get the most out of it. There's some hints and tips I put together because they will help you. I'm hoping they will help you. And if you're struggling with something or you've got a block to doing or taking an action, just let us know in the Facebook group, okay? Because if it's not you, you're probably speaking on behalf of several folks, all right? I'd love for you to set a health goal and vision for yourself. As I said initially, starting up this Hangout today. Please think of a health goal and vision for yourself, for yourself. If you see something in others that you aspire to have or be by way of health or thriving health, I want you to know, similar to how Dr. Trevor Cates talks about the quality of your skin and your health can also, the skin can be a mirror for you. The same way you see health or thriving health to the degree that you have it, aspire more of it, or aspire it, is a mirror reflection of you. That probably resonated deeply with some folks. So I want you to know that. Because you wouldn't see that level of health if it wasn't already ready to be availed and revealed to you. You can see I twist things around for an opportunity in the challenge because that's the duality. Where there's challenges, opportunity, nice with mean, happy with sad, support with challenge. Universal law, actually. So hopefully, if you write a goal and set a health vision, you don't need to look outside of yourself. You can look outside for the inspiration, but you wouldn't see it if it wasn't part of you, okay? So when you think about your health, what is that biggest challenge? A few of you have written in, you've shared that in the Facebook group. I've noted all of it, and I've taken it to heart. Thank you. What's the most important thing about being healthy and healing your digestion naturally to you? As in, if you were really at the level of health that you used to be or want to be or aspire to have more of, what does that enable you to do more of? This is deep. Because if you know why you want to be healthy, it's going to show more about what's important to you and how much more you're going to be able to do, okay? I want you to think about that. It's hope. It's hope. It brings fulfillment. It opens you up to new possibilities. Because why limit ourselves when we can have more possibilities, even seeing through others and learning this experience through others. That's why the community here is going to be important. So that's on page 24. I encourage you to take some time out as you look at the playbook with, screen down with your finger and see who resonates for you and the topic that we're talking about. And I'm going to dive into the questions in a moment here. So thanks for hanging in with me. I want you to block out time in your calendar. If you've always done what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always received or gotten. If you mark your calendar and say, I'm putting a, pen to paper, I've got a schedule this week just for 7 days. I'm going to just do this because I want to watch this person, tune in, tap into that, be a part of that, connect on Facebook, ask the question. If you just put a schedule in place that's not negotiable time for you, like sleeping. I know a few of you might pull all-nighters with work because you're that busy. But if you're in the flow, the sleep or the lack of, you'll be in the flow. You'll just know why you're doing it. And all of a sudden the energy, resources, places, things show up because you're relentless on your quest. This is like a sutra from Patanjali. You become extraordinary. That's who you really have the potential to be. Now, we have sleep experts, by the way. We talk about circadian rhythms, sleeping patterns. So I want you to get the right sleep to rest and heal your gut and digestion, recover and recharge. And mark that time out in your calendar. Not negotiable. Put yourself first a little bit, because when you can be more of you, you can give more of you, okay? And be more of you, just for the week. See how that resonates, okay? So mark some time on your calendar, because there's 38 sessions. You may not get to all of them, but we want you to start to prioritize them so you're empowered and you really started to envisage how you can be healthy again, like I talked about earlier. But I'll all reach new levels of thriving health. You could probably see in the interviews, I take key notes because I've relayed those notes in the tips and strategies for you. I've relayed them in the Platinum Pass with the action guides that we've put together for you in the Platinum Pass. They're all in there. They really are full of jam-packed of golden nuggets. Okay. So the Facebook group, please join us. You'll be able to join the group. You're in a community with us. We're here for you. Let us know what's resonating. Just join that. The link's also in the playbook and your email. And if you don't know what that is, email us back. We'll get that to you. Please take notes and take action. High quality action. Okay? I think that's going to be really important for you. And it will make a huge difference. And then what to expect is also on page 25. I've mentioned that before. And the other question a few of you may ask me, again, I've talked about the timing, how long these are available. And again, I want to thank you for being on right now and taking the time to be with us. I'm going to dive into questions. So any more questions, please start messaging them. I've got them all here. They're on my dashboard, so I'm going to read them out to you and answer them. The other thing I want to bring to your attention is you really do have a couple of choices here. And one of them is to be your own advocate for health and to make a change. Once you are aware of what your options are, you're going to be able to make a change and take a high quality action. Okay, so this is when I talk about the 3-step protocol, and I'm just going to talk about this. This is a little coaching, but I want to bring some of that value in because I want it to help you with the mindset, the heart set, the physical body, the whole of you. When you listen to some of the expert interviews, they talk about the whole of you. Dr. Shell talks about looking at you as a whole, a whole being, a whole person. Steph Stefanos talks about that too. Don Tolman talks about you as a whole, and then nature. Chris Shefferai talks about biodynamics and nature and your connection to nature and the quality of the soils, the water and the environment. We've got Dr. Kurt Wohler, who talks a lot about autism recovery spectrum and the levels of spectrum and markers and tests. And he actually personally has given us the links to some of the tests that are home kits that he personally goes through and assesses for you as a report. And toxins. Dr. Tom O'Brien talks to this as well. Toxins in the body and without. Dr. Anne-Louise Gittleman. Amazing experts here, and I want to do justice to all of them, and you'll see me messaging folks back in the group. So where I'm going with this is a lot of these experts really understand how to help you navigate to root cause through symptoms, through history, through environment. So when you listen to some of these interviews, if you have an aha moment, please write that down. Because if it resonates with you, don't put it down as put it on the table, I'll deal with it later. If it sparks something in you or a truth in you or something you've experienced historically, or even if you think of someone you love, friend or family member, that you know this would benefit, please write that down and take an action on it. I can assure you it's very empowering when you do that. So part of the three-pronged protocol, the three-step, is to actually have your journey more empowered for a healthier, thriving life, is usually, if you can net it down, stopping the mess, identifying the root cause, or at least a symptom that is symbolic of root cause, because you're paying attention to the body. You wouldn't feel it, you know, I mean, of course, there's root cause and all sorts of things outside of you, but you've got something going on within you. So identify that cause through a symptom. Even if it's not the right one, it's one of them, and that's going to move a lot for you regardless. Then step number 2 is to start to clean up the mess. What are you going to be able to do differently, having taken on board some of this information from the expert and the speakers, that's going to help you clean up the mind, the body, put a plan in place and a strategy for you on a soul level, socially, relationships, mentally, environmentally. What are those things that make you up around you? Some people have even talked about career. You know, we're not saying to change jobs right now, but a few people have raised that as the expert conversation, because they've actually questioned their clientele about that. I know Dr. Vincent Pedre does that. And then also the third step to this is the high quality actions that you're making a change on to regenerate, rehabilitate, and create a sustainable foundation for your healthy future. So I'm going to go macro level again. If you decide what you would love to get out of this summit with intention, that's the key starting point. Your goal, challenge is the opportunity here. If you put down a prioritized schedule for yourself on what sessions you want to attend and which speaker or expert resonates for you, put those down, mark them in your calendar, you want to get to them. Don't beat yourself up if you can't. I get that. I mean, there's a lot of speakers. It's a fire hose. So we've got the Platinum Pass as an option, but I'm here to answer questions, as so are a few of us in the group. And some of you are already sharing information and helping each other, because that's what we want to cultivate as a culture here. That's important. So the three-step process, again, I'm going to net that out, is stopping the mess, as in the root cause or the underlying cause that can be symptomatic. You're going to tune into your body and listen to it because it's asking you for support and help. Okay? You stop the mess by identifying the root cause, by almost putting a stake in the ground and getting a new strategy to do something a little differently. You're going to clean up the mess. You're going to start learning key, easy ways to eliminate some foods that could be causing some problem, because you're like, aha, like I noticed this change. I know how I feel when I eat this. Maybe if I put this aside for a week, something will change. I'm going to hydrate more. I learned about, you know, this smoothie or this drink or this immune boosting juice or syrup, or, you know, Robin Openshaw talked about this smoothie, kefir. Oh my gosh, that's a great way to make kefir. Dave Lindenbaum talks about kombucha. That's awesome. Sage talks about colonic hydrotherapy. Maybe you just decide to book a colonic hydrotherapy session or few in your local city. Some of you may learn about breathing and breath work, or meditation, or gratitude exercise, or just a basic detox. You know, I know Dr. Venus Ramos talks about a detox and gives you some steps. Dr. Dealey and Tita also talks about a few things. There are some protocols and cleansers and books. And so, again, not to overwhelm you, but pick the one and the person that resonates for you, and maybe take a high quality action so you can clean up and detox and cleanse a bit. And that includes the mind. a few of the educators and experts talk about the mind-gut connection quite considerably. And for example, Dr. Emma Mayer talks about an abdominal breathing exercise, which we have also in the bonus section of the Platinum Pass. You hear the word consciousness talked about. It's the connection to you. So when we can clean up the mess and cleanse and detox safely without, again, like I laugh and joke, but living on a blade of grass, you know, things can shift for you. And then the third thing is, what high quality actions for you, where you mark your calendar for your own health, the time out for you to do movement or exercise, the time out for you to spend time with your relationships, family, the time out for you to spend time with nature, earthing and grounding, out there with barefoot on the mount. I know it could be cold and snowing in places right now, but the regeneration, rehabilitation, and sustainable foundation is what you're going to create, which helps you be empowered to make change and take high quality actions. Okay. The other thing I'd love to bring to your attention is two things. Some folks talk about sabotage, or they're like, oh, that won't work for me. I've tried everything and it won't work. I understand that. But what if this new way could work? What if? See, you take a challenge into an opportunity and you become more open. So I hope some of this is resonating with you all, because part of you all being on right now is important, because I can understand your questions here. I can look at them, read them, understand what you're asking about, and so I can help address them or guide you to the expert that may have that information for you. So if the challenge or the sabotage, or you hold, like there's something holding you back from having the opportunity to heal from the inside out. If there's something holding you back, you know, time, money, energy, pay attention to that, because sometimes the stories that we can run over in our head can inhibit us from seeing the opportunity at hand. So if that's the case, maybe write a few of those down and see if you can write down the positive opposite to those. Like, I don't have time. Where do I have time? How can I make time? I don't have money. I've tried everything. I've spent tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. I mean, I know in this field, some people spend hundreds of thousands to try and find a solution to their problem. And then they'll find this one teacher or one healer that will change everything for them, because that was the teacher for them. And so if you could just write down what's stopping you, what about if there was an opportunity, and switch that story up and maybe look at that on a piece of paper. And if you don't even know how to do that, the gratitude, a few of the experts talk about gratitude. The attitude of gratitude, it opens your heart. It spends more time on you. And you know what happens when you write down what you're really grateful for? Because someone always loves something, an animal, nature, you know, yourself, your child, a pet, a place that you visited once. When you find that feeling, it's your feeling, that will invoke the good in you. And when you invoke the good in you, it'll show you what's important to you. So here's the trick. If you can see how being healthy helps you be more of that, you've got an intention match, okay? That will open up a lot for you. I can assure you of that. Because when you can be more of the good in you, you do one thing and you do more of that throughout the week. So if gratitude is it, write down a list. Aha moment, something that resonated with you, write that down. Come up with a new mantra or a new way to do something differently, to mix it up. I think this will be very helpful for you all. And that's probably enough of my coaching. But the other thing I want to share with you, when the experts talk and they share their journeys with you, they're talking about not only their journeys in a lot of cases, some of them will actually bring a tear to your eye. You'll probably see me emote a little because I'm feeling what they went through. I have empathy. And at the same time, some of them are speaking on behalf of the many that they've helped before, because they have. And that person could be you. So what if? Okay, so keep an open mind. And they're open, they're honest, I've drawn out the golden nuggets from these experts, and they're sharing very openly. So I want you to have hope. Again, have an open mind, an open heart. Treat this as a mini 1 week retreat that just you're putting time out for yourself, and we're going to have a lot of fun, because learning about health can be fun as well. And some folks that I know were helping me set up the interviews and put them online on my team, you're telling me, oh my gosh, I laughed throughout the whole interview. I'm like, that's what we want. Laughter, fun, joy in the learning. Okay, so I want you to weave in the fun too. I know illness and ailment can be a very serious topic, and trust me, from my heart to yours, I have seen and witnessed many, many, folks suffering in many years that I've been in this healing industry. But of course, I've been in corporate business, but the one thing that I've done is always health hard. So that's why my interest has been in parallel to the equal degree. And that's why I've leaped into this industry more, full time, about a decade ago now, to help, because I know there's hope. There's always hope. Okay, so let's answer some questions. Will I be covering Candida? Well, we in the interviews covering gut health during pregnancy and the autism connection. That's a great question. I'm not sure who asked that. It could have been Susan here, because I've got a runoff thread. Yes. So if I may, I'm going to start answering questions and direct you to some folks. So firstly, I want to thank a couple of folks for emails who've asked me questions. So we've got a couple of folks who want to learn how to stop the mess. Awesome. Faye said it. Valerie said it. Stop the mess. Ha ha. Awesome. Let's do that. Someone, Jackie, mentioned she wants to create a plan for the summit. Awesome. Hopefully I've answered your questions here. Ask us anything else you have in Facebook. Would love to answer those. Wanda talked about she never knew there were so many people going through so many digestive issues, And I'm like, I know. It's not something that people talk about at parties or socially. It's kind of like on the down low, isn't it? It's private. And it's embarrassing at times. So people are all out talking about it. If you're not willing to, that's okay, because someone will do it for you. Okay? So like their comment. Encourage them to encourage you. All right? Let me look at some of the questions here as well. So I've got some emails coming in. I've got some messages. Hello, welcome. Yes. Right. Okay, Joey, thank you. You found out about SIBO. The breath test was positive. All right, SIBO, what is that? It's small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. There's also the thing called SIFO, small intestinal fungal overgrowth. So we've got the large intestine and small intestine. Now, the particular interview I'm going to direct you to, Joey, is Dr. Narala Jacoby, Rebecca Coombs, and Natalie Credendon. Okay? Natalie is also a nurse. She's awesome. Dr. Narala Jacoby has a SIBO test as well, which you've obviously done. But for some of you listening, you may not have done that yet. You might want to understand what that is. What is the protocol? How does that look? Several other experts have mentioned SIBO too. But Dr. Narala also has a biphasic dietary protocol. It's in phases. It is awesome. There's recipes in there. It's actually in the bonus section as well of our Platinum Pass. You will have access to that as a Platinum Pass holder. And I've heard beautiful things. She runs a microbiome clinic here in Australia. She's actually originally from Germany, lived in the States a lot. And Rebecca Coombs actually has cookbooks that are SIBO-based cookbooks. She's got a beautiful, generous free gift as well. And Natalie Credendon also talks about the difference between quick and slow recovery from SIBO, because it does take time. So I encourage you to have a look at those interviews. I think it's going to be very helpful. Someone's asked about diabetes here as well. Listen, we talked a little bit about that, insulin resistance and the body's health and microbiome to actually be able to create the right levels, pancreatic health and whatnot. There's a couple of experts to talk about it. Now, I'm going to direct you specifically to Dr. Sandeep Gupta, also because he studied with Dr. Gabrielle Cousins, who's known for diabetes, curing or healing or, work. And Dr. Sandeep Gupta talks about chronic inflammatory response syndromes as well. CIRS, C-I-R-S. There's acronyms galore in this, but you know, we'll get it all once we get in the vibe. We should have an acronym competition. We should have an acronym bonus thing. I might actually, I'm joking, not joking. I'm writing that down. Yeah, Dr. Sandeep Gupta, and he's awesome, by the way. And the reason I came across him is because of Lyme. He's connected to the Lyme and the mold, toxic mold groups in Facebook, because I know a lot of people who have actually healed and cured Lyme, like all sorts of the bacterias, Babesia, Ehrlichia, you know, there's several strains, MMA, the meat mammalian allergy thing that also happens as a part of that. I've kind of gone on a tangent, but I feel that someone needs to know that in this video. So Dr. Sandeep Gupta has amazing strategies there. You will also love, as I go on here, Don Tolman, the 7 ancient healing modalities, and you'll see me really tap into that conversation, partly because I'm Egyptian and Greek, and he talks about sweatnet and the ancients, but it's empowering, okay? So hopefully that answers the question. Hey, Laurie, she's asked us a little bit about healthy gut with lupus, systemic lupus, as she deals with chemo and steroids. Oh, God bless you. You are awesome. Okay, so I'd like to direct you to the interview with Dr. Sandeep Gupta and Dr. Jill Carnahan, specifically on that. Don Tolman as well, Dr. Tom O'Brien, also because of the autoimmune fix, and even Dr. Daniel Pompa, who talks a lot about fasting too, because you mentioned chemo, you mentioned steroids, you mentioned lupus. I won't go into the full details why, because that's going to get me down the medical route here. But please tune into those, Laurie. I know you will learn a lot from those. Okay, my dear? You're a legend. Thank you for being here. You're all amazing. Okay, Alexandra, chemotherapy, large intestine stopped working. Oh, you are beautiful. You're attending this on behalf of her. Hopefully the prior speakers I just talked about will help here. Okay, the permeability of the large intestine, leaky gut is discussed also with Dr. Vincent Pedre through a lot, and actually Dr. Jill Carnahan, I'm going to talk here, I'm not going to cry, but wow, what an interview. She talks about mold in her heading, but if you look at her bio, she suffered cancer at a young age, actually at medical school, and because of the medication and the repeated levels of the amount of medication that really wreaked havoc in her digestion, she then suffered Crohn's and chronic fatigues, symptoms and chronic ailment several years later. I'd like for you, Alexandra, to listen to Dr. Jill Carnahan's interview. Please prioritize that time. And if you can get your auntie on the summit to listen, please dive into that. I'd love for her to look at hormone health. I'm guessing, depending on the chemo or the type of cancer, if it was a hormone type as well, please tune in to Dr. Shel Lalji, like Guruji. She's awesome. Dr. Shel is a beautiful soul. Dr. Trevor Cates, amazing. She's awesome. And they talk a lot about hormone health too. And they're very focused on women. Hope that helps. Sorry, I wanted to take time for that. I've got a couple more here. All right, Teresa, sclerodoma, health of gut. There's a correlation there, my dear. How do you know if you've even got an unhealthy gut? A few of the experts talk about the earthing component of the gut. 80% of the immune system is in the gut. The serotonin levels and the dopamine and the hormones are produced in the gut. Dr. Frank Lipman talks about it. Many do. Dr. Trevor Cates, Dr. Shel Lalji. You've got many folks talking about this. Dr. Vincent Pedre. He actually has a beautiful gift that actually shows you what a healthy gut looks like, lining, and then a leaky gut, the permeability. It gives you the visual concept of the cells and the permeability of the gut lining. I'd like for you to tune into a few of those, my dear. Okay, Lindy, am I covering Candida? Absolutely. We are talking microbiome health. We are talking fungal overgrowth. We are talking SIBO. I mentioned a few of those folks earlier. Please watch the replay. You will love the conversations with Dr. Naral and Natalie, Rebecca Coombs, Don Tolman, Dr. Anne-Louise Gittleman, Dr. Janet Zand, the brain fog. Oh my goodness, Dr. Emran Mayer, the mind-gut connection. On the mind-gut connection, I'd also love for you to tune into Dr. Keith Wallace, Dr. John Douillard, and Dr. Rick Sarnat, and Dr. Emran Mayer, if I didn't already repeat that, because it's very empowering what they're going to share with you. And Steph Sifandos actually talks about a lot about the relational alchemy between you and what's going on in the behavior in the body, the actual physiological and emotional relational well-being, not only within the body but without the being of you. He's a high performance coach. He works with hardcore level athletes. We're talking medalists and things like that, professional athletes, and sovereign leadership and integral health, because they're very related. So I think that on the mind-body connection, a few of you will find these conversations very enlightening, actually. Yeah, hopefully that answered. Okay, Susan, medication for diabetes, Hashimoto's, no ability to retain sodium. Okay, Ashley Croft talks about absorbability as well of nutrients and the quality. It's not just about we are what we eat. A lot of you are already aware of Hippocrates' disease, begins in the gut. And Buck Rizvi talks to this as well, because the degree of the health of your gut and digestion is the degree of the quality of your life and the longevity of your life. That's why people like Dr. Damien Christoph also talk about studying from people in Greece and the Greek islands, and in Ichthya as well, in Ichthya, I think it is, about how and why they live a long time. You've got Pooh and the Future of Medicine from Kyle Brock. He goes right into Africa and actually lives with people who have high fibrous diets. They hunt and gather like the ancients did and the traditional way we were built as human beings here, and how they work. So I think, yeah, can a diet help me stop pharmaceuticals? Please listen to Don Tolman. You will find a lot of information and gold nuggets from those people I just mentioned. Susan, my dear, thank you for being here. We'll be covering Candida gut health during pregnancy, autism. I touched on that. Dr. Kurt Wohler talks about autism recovery. Dr. Janet Zand talks about a child on the spectrum that she's personally helped. Moving conversation. Moving. I'm a mother. Wow. Please tune into those. There are markers, there are tests. Dr. Kurt Wohler talks about all of them. There are programs that he offers to educate you. And during pregnancy, I, of course, I've had a child and had, an amazing pregnancy. My child is very healthy. The microbiome, microbiota health, please tap into Dr. Jason Horolak's interview. You will love that. He talks a lot about pregnancy, the biota, the health of that, Susan. And again, for diabetes, tune into Dr. Sandeep Gupta's and Don Tolman's, okay? Katie Dowsing, covering the effect of medications in the gut. Yes, ma'am. Dr. Jill Carnahan a few people talk about the strength of antibiotics and how much more powerful they are now. I'm just going to think for a moment. It'll come to me. Dr. Jill Carnahan talked about it. Several folks did. Dr. Dan Pomper talked about it because he also suffered chronic ailment. He was amazing, his conversation. I mean, everyone's amazing. I have to tell you, I'm not just saying this. I've been around for 2.5 decades in the healing industry. They're all amazing. Medications affect the gut. When you listen to Dr. Jason Horolak and antibiotics, there's C. diff infections that are coming from, just Google it even. Don't go to Dr. Google, but Google, have a look. There's a lot of more cases of prolonged use of antibiotics and the strength of them now, despite the resilience that people are having to the antibiotics, because Like bacteria and fungus and evolution, it's designed to survive, you know, to survive and sustain itself, so it becomes resourceful like nature does, right? So C. diff is becoming, we talked about that a little bit with several experts, because that can also be a byproduct, including mold infection from a lot of medications longer term. Again, medications and things like that serve a purpose. A lot of these folks are functional medical PhD, like full-on doctors, okay? So there's certain prescriptions that they talk about. There's some herbal ones, and then there's some actual traditional ones, and they come up with a good mix for the individual based on the client and the patient that they're treating. No one protocol fits all. So I think that, Katie, please listen to Dr. Narala Jacoby. She talks about that. Dr. Frank Lipman, Dr. Tom O'Brien. I hope I'm mentioning everybody that I can think of. Everyone was just so amazing. The other thing on hormone health, please tune into Dr. Amy Day. A couple of you have mentioned that. I want you to listen to her, because she also talks about the adrenal and the gut correlation. Now, on the women side, on females, because I know a lot of women are talking about hormones and things like that, I want to touch on, and let me answer a couple more questions here. All right. I'm going to talk about some of the hormone health and beauty as well, because men and women really pay attention to inner health and thriving beauty, because it's important, correlating to gut health. The way that your skin's feedback for that, the way you feel and the way you look, can be a correlation to your gut health and digestion. Now, one more question here, Teresa. If time allows, mold exposure, does it affect the gut, and will mold be addressed? Yes, Dr. Jill Canahan, please. Dr. Dan Pomper, please listen to those. Don Tolman, please listen to those. You will love them. Okay, I want to mention also couple of other speakers here and expertise. I think that's a lot of the questions done. Heidi, Christine, let me know if there's any more. I got a couple here. Here we are. Let me just finish those up. Laurie, systemic lupus, we've done that. Thank you so much. Chemo, steroids, Dr. Jill Carnahan, please listen to her journey. She's amazing. Loved every expert. Sarah, okay, you've been gluten-free. Dr. John Douillard talks about gluten-free in the industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Don talks about it too. Have a listen. SIBO, Dr. Narala Jacoby, Rebecca Coombs also has SIBO cookbooks. She's amazing. And Natalie Credundon, I mentioned that. Weight loss. Weight loss, everybody. Do I get a yay? Hey. Weight loss can be directly correlated to your digestive health. It's not just about exercise and being rejasic. Movement and exercise is very different things. Dr. Gillian Teeter talks to this, Dr. Venus Ramos as well. She's also she does performance and things like that. She's amazing. Dr. Venus, you may have seen on the Doctor Show. Her interview has really great how-to detox guide, very simply. But also she also does a lot of rehabilitation work, and that takes complex cases from all ages into good levels of thriving health, both physiologically as well as gut health, and on all levels. I think you'd really benefit from listening to some of her interview. Buck Rizvi, weight loss. He also talks about GERN and cravings and where some of this is coming from. I think you would greatly benefit from that. All right. Weight issues, hormones. Let's go into some of the conversation, because I know the women, because you've got 4 times the cortisol receptors in your gut, will typically suffer weight issues or weight loss, stagnation as well. Let me just answer one more question before I talk about this stuff on women and hormones, because I want to bring your attention to some of those conversations. Star, what a great name. I love your name. Okay, valves, stuck, closer open, contribute to SIBO. Sounds like inflammation. Don't speculate on SIBO, whether you've got it or not, unless you do tests. What I'd like you to do is join some of the interviews. If the body, you know, the body's got organs, there's everything that's going on. It's like a systematic approach. You've got the various nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. We talk about that with various experts as well. I'm going to mention here sleep. I know I tapped on sleep before. Sleep, hormone health, weight loss. I'm going to touch on that in just a moment here, ladies and men who want to listen, or bring their wives in to listen, because this will help, and skin and beauty. Inflammation is the precursor to disease in the body. When I've seen and looked at colonoscopies and the quality of the intestine as you go deeper, it's very obvious where it gets red or there's polyps or things in there. So as the body works with, you know, its endocrine, all the systems in unity, with natural intelligence as a whole things just work. But the body has such innate intelligence, and one thing fails, the next one picks up the slack. But there's a point where the chain is broken and it says, stop, I've had enough. So the conversation on inflammation is discussed as an essence throughout the conversations. Digestion health, immune system, your autonomic nervous system, the endocrine system. So many systems, your skin, the microbiome on the skin, even for women, you know, vaginal health, the microbiota there, having birth, giving birth as a baby, how were you birthed? Because, you know, there's certain things and predisposition that you're going to learn about that you can compensate for to get your body back in the alignment that it's looking for. That's why you're here. So hopefully that helps you a little, Star. Love that name. What a great name. My favorite. I've written a star here. Okay. Sleep. A lot of experts talk about sleep. Digestion, resetting, relaxation, healing of the gut occurs in sleep. Dr. Vincent Pedro talks about it. The female, some of the women doctors that talk about hormonal health, emotional health, rest, mind-gut connection. Dr. Ramaya talks about it. And I pry and I ask experts to tell us more about circadian rhythm, the acclimation of cells to the environment that we're in, how you ground, sun gazing, being in nature, the wind, the elements, earthing. The earth element correlates to earth, the frequency of the brain matching the gut, the balance connected to the earth. And here, I mean, there's so much. Sleep. You're going to learn about sleep. And if you can, mark your calendars to get a bit more sleep, or just stay rested, or make rest time or quiet time. You'll find that very helpful. Okay, so, okay, I'm just checking for questions as they're coming in. Oh, here's someone. Hello, I've got another question. Dorina, my mum has cancer. Her stomach is removed. Still struggling after chemo, absorbing nutrition issues and after significant weight loss. Oh, you're amazing. Can I just say thank you for being here, all of you, even if you're listening to this as a replay. I know a few of you are joining on behalf of your family members who don't have the stamina, let alone the wherewithal to get online and connect and do all this stuff. Thank you. You know, I do that for some family members and for many of my clients too. And I appreciate that in you because, you know, sometimes even if we're struggling with something, we can learn through other people, and doing something for someone else brings so much gratification and fulfillment. I just want to thank you. It's really deep. Dorina, please tune in to Dr. Jill Carnahan, Ashley Koff. Oh, look at that. One of the experts just messaged me. How gorgeous is that? I want you to listen to those for your mum. All right, my dear? Dr. Jill Carnahan, Ashley Koff, Don Tolman, Dr. Sandeep Gupta, Dr. Jason Horolak, Dr. Tom O'Brien, Dr. Vincent Pedro. I really would love, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I am. I'm going to because I feel like I need to. Listen to Dr. Vincent Pedre's interview, Dorena, and Dr. Emmerin Mayer. He talks about the autonomic nervous system, talks about abdominal breathing, resting, mind-gut connection. We also go into a little bit of the subconscious conversation. And I want you to show your mum Vincent Pedre's interview, okay? You'll know why. Message me later in the Facebook group, okay? All right, what else have we got? Any more questions? All right, I am going to talk about women, health, weight loss, and beauty for a moment, because how can I not when these most amazing souls have joined us? Okay, hormonal health. I'd like to bring your attention to Dr. Shel Lalji, okay, as in Guruji, Dr. Shel Lalji, Dr. Jill Carnahan, Dr. Janet Zand, Dr. Nicole Birkins as well. I want to bring your attention on the actual, the child and the behavioral and emotional chemicals. A few of us asked about children and autism and spectrum. Dr. Janet Zand, Dr. Nicole Birkins. And Dina Norton is also amazing with her cookbooks, information on zero effort gut health, because I know it's overwhelming where to start. So you'll love her. Allergies. Let's talk about allergies quickly. Dr. Karen Lee. She talks about eczema and food allergies. Now, women and beauty. Dr. Anna Quebeca, she's an OBGYN as well, and a regenerative and anti-aging medicine expert. She also talks about a woman's vaginal health and how it's closely connected to your gut health. Really, it's in that area. It's also that area where we birth children. It's very closely connected to where we eliminate from. No coincidence. The grand organized design knows exactly what nature knows what nature's doing. We just need to align and learn more. So I encourage you to listen to Dr. Anna Quebeca's interview. She is amazing. I've known her now. I've had her on some of my other summits before. She's a beautiful soul. They're all beautiful souls. Okay, Dr. Amy Day, what do hormones have to do with gut health? I want to bring that to your attention. Now, the skin. I talked about skin a little bit. Nadine Artemis from Living Libations. In fact, I have a whole bunch of her products because they're so pure, essential oil-based, beautiful, hand-crafted, put-together products. The skin microbiome and your gut health. There's a book called Renegade Beauty that I have here, actually. It's just here on my desk. She just launched this at the time of our interview. It's a stunning book. There's a lot of do-it-yourself recipes in there for your physiological skin health, and it talks about the parts, the organs in the body, even breast health. And really, as a woman, you'll learn a lot from this work. Now, Dr. Trevor Cates talks about skin as the mirror as well. Now, she'll actually talk to you about skin being your magic mirror and what's happening inside your body. Also about common prescriptions that don't actually fix the underlying problems. And she's talking about the pH balance as well and the community bacteria that are crucial there as well. So the foods you can eat, of course, can affect your skin health. And so can skin products. We go into that conversation, and she talks about the causes of imperfect skin. If you have a look at the playbook, it's in the playbook section, some of the tips there. But the skin is like a magic mirror, okay? So it'll give you messages about your health. Now, if some of you go deeper into skin health, because a few of you may be aware of reflexology charts. Like if you superimpose reflexology in the body and the gut, the gut digestion, around this area at the bottom or whatever, and you got the brain, whatever, on hands and the feet and eyes and organs, you'll see that the face corresponds on certain parts of the body to organs. So it's feedback, okay? I think you would love that interview. I mean, who wouldn't? Dr. Shel Lalji talks about how to get your life back by balancing your hormones. She talks about hormone disruptors. And a few of you have asked about medication and weight loss and, post having had, disease or chronic ailments or complex cases. I want you to know that what she talks about is phenomenal. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly zoom through and make sure I've covered any other experts and what they talk about. I want to bring Lee Holmes to your attention. She talks about the 4 key pillars to heal your gut protocol as well, because she also talks about her own journey. There's some simple techniques, and one of them is rest. We talk about rest. And she also talks about stress. A lot of the mind, gut, body correlation that you'll hear about talks to stress. She talks about detox and body cleansing, some simple techniques. She also talks about some recipes. She's got beautiful recipes. She talked about a golden gut blend, which has diatomaceous earth with some turmeric. You'll hear turmeric, curcumin, ginger, garlic, black pepper. You'll hear a lot of these recipes talked about, lemon, olive oil, things like that, sea salt for minerals. You'll hear a lot about this information. What else can I tell you? Are there any other questions coming through? Let me know, because I believe I've actually talked about 38 of the experts right now. One other area I really want to bring to your attention is if you are feeling fat, frazzled, and fatigued, everybody needs to listen to Dr. Anne-Louise Gittleman's interview. Why? Because she's been in their business for a long time, helping people, thousands of people. And her research, second to none on parasites, is phenomenal. I'm just going to share that with you. Oh, yes. I've got another question from Katie. Thank you for being on, my dear. Wondered about the possible connection of skin protecting the inner body with the gut lining doing the same thing. I wonder why you asked that question. You're quite intuitive, aren't you? Awesome. The microbiome isn't just in the gut. There's oral, there's skin, vaginal. We are all made up of microbiome everywhere, bacteria. Body ecology. Donna Gates has a beautiful book on body ecology. I know she recently did some work with Dr. Axe as well. Phenomenal information there. The permeability, the quality, not just collagen and, you know, the juiciness of the skin. What you eat, put on your skin, will actually factually absorb into the body. The toxins in our environment will come into the body. We have a mouth, you know, we see, we have subconscious, mental, you know, reactivity, relationships to self, others, places of thing, the gut lining, what we're eating, the absorbability, the ability for you to absorb foods as well, is directly correlated to your gut health and where the, you know, bacteria is in the right places. That's why we have SIBO and things like that we talk about. So thank you. Great question. Quite metaphoric of a question, Katie. You're on it. Happy Spirit. I don't know who that is, but I love your name. How sweet is that? My friend has a major constipation issue. Yes, constipation. Okay, take notes. Firstly, there are 2 books that Dr. Audrey, again, as our sponsor, thank you so much, Australian Excellence. AustralianExcellence.com is her website, by the way. You'll see it mentioned here. Wow. Let me start. Happy Spirit. Feel like I'm talking to an angel or doing an angel card reading, which I don't do, by the way, publicly anyway. Okay, constipation. Let me put you in the direct angle here. Please listen to Dr. Jason Horolak, Dr. Anne-Louise Gittleman, Dave Lindenbaum, Sage Joya. I'm going to rattle off the list, sorry. I'm just going through my heart and mind because I remember being present with people in the conversation here. Don Tolman. And cleansing and detox, just to start simply, maybe Dr. Gillian Teeter and Dr. Venus Ramos as well. Great information there. Okay, the 2 guides that I want to tell you about, again, in the bonus section from Dr. Audrey, are 10 superfoods to heal and soothe your tummy. There's one magic ingredient in there, and I feel like I'm going to have a little giveaway around the magic ingredient. And here's a question now. I'm just going to start dropping this now. All right, I'm going to make a little red star. Happy Spirit, thank you for asking the question. If you listen to Dr. John Douillard's interview, there's one ingredient there that's also mentioned in the the book of 10 superfoods of how to soothe your tummy. The other book Dr. Audrey has is Why Am I Gassy and Bloated? And there's a quiz in there, and that's going to talk about constipation too. So the magic ingredient that helps with permeability of gut, leaky gut as well, is mentioned by Dr. John Douillard and Dr. Audrey's book. I mentioned that. Now, there's also what I'm calling the triple threat. You've seen me write this down. I'm just calling them the triple threat to parasites. Dr. Anne-Louise Gittleman talks to them. John Tolman talks to them as well. Phenomenal. So does Dr. Audrey in her book, The 10 Superfoods. If anyone can tell me what the 3 of those herbs are, we'll do a giveaway on that. Triple threat to parasites, 3 herbs. Some of you have already mentioned Dr. Helder Clark's specifications, so I know you're onto it. I know a few of you are quite informed here, so let's have fun with that. All right, I'm just writing that down. 1 magic ingredient for permeability of the gut. Thank you for the creative questions. I've come up with a little, so we'll do a giveaway for you. And then the triple threat for parasites. All right. There's 3 herbs to Dr. Helder Clark's specifications. All right, let's do that. All right, let me just finish a couple more questions here. Any more? Let me know, please. Message. Heal your gut, a happy, healthy gut, a happy, healthier you. Lee Holmes. She is amazing. Her recipes on her website. My goodness, how generous. Absolutely stunning. I've played with a few of those recipes. In fact, I have her diatomaceous earth here that's mixed with a turmeric. You can actually make a beautiful coconut milk or nut milk elixir with that. It actually tastes really good, by the way, and it's not overpowering. Okay, Roxanne, have not read, but guessing gate can't. No, they're not the right ones. They're actually great recipe ingredients, Roxanne. She's asked guessing. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Cayenne, red pepper, garlic, ginger. Roxanne, please listen to Robin Openshaw's interview. You're on it, lady. That's awesome. She talks about a good old mother's immune elixir that she makes and has batches of in the fridge. In fact, Karen Lee talks about ferment that helps you with queasy tummy as well and nausea. In Karen Lee's interview, please listen to that. It's also sweet. She talks about her journey with her children around skin allergies, and I think a few of you may benefit from that. Happy Spirit, here's your awesome name again. Turmeric, oregano, garlic. They're good. They're great for anti-inflammation, but not the part of your immune system boosting, but to kill off the parasites. But not only the kill off the parasites, the biofilm that protects nature around the parasite. Because if anyone's experiencing, or you'll listen to Dr. Anne-Louise Gittleman's interview, please do that. She'll talk about the symptoms and various things. Okay, sweet. That's funny, Heidi. Okay, thank you. Anyone else with any questions? I'm going to probably wrap up right now. We've been on for an hour and a half. My goodness, how time flies when we're having fun. There's a lot of you that stayed on the call. Again, I want to thank you for being here. I'm going to get those questions. I hope Dr. Audrey approves. I think she will. Excellent questions, everybody. Now, plan for the summit. Okay, not alone. I've covered mostly everything. I think I've covered and spoken to all 38 interviews now. So hopefully you've got a good idea of what to expect and who to tune into. They're amazing experts. I'm so grateful that everyone took the time out of their busy lives and schedule to help us. One other thing I want to actually close out with, I'm going to recap on the recap on the goal for you, the plan for you. Let's put a little roadmap in place. Maybe we'll write a quick schedule here so we can get that high quality action by you set in stone for the next week as we launch. And one other expert I want to bring to your attention, because I think this is going to be a heart, soul, and mind opener. I want to bring to your attention Dr. Rick Sarnat. We had a beautiful interview. He's a president and chief medical officer You can feel it in me as I talk about him. The work that I have seen him do, the case studies that I have witnessed before and after through his work is profound as well. You'll learn how, I mean, he talks about information is power and knowledge is power. You'll learn how to empower yourself with natural health methods. Now, here's the thing about what he also teaches, like other practitioners teach other practitioners, and they also make their information available to the public. Dr. Rick will show and talk to you about how some of the methods in the new paradigm of medicine, where science is bridging with medicine and consciousness, okay? He'll talk about how these methods are teachable, repeatable, measurable, and predictable for your family's health, so you can become your own healer. How's that? It's an eye opener. It's a heart, mind, soul opener. Please tune into that. On the final day, that's day 7. That's in the schedule. I would love to bring your attention to Dr. John Douillard's event as well, our interview. He's got some amazing ways to tune and tap into nature through the seasons. Don Tolman talks about nature and the ancients. You'll also love Dr. Emran Mayer, the mind-gut connection. I think this is where he's really paving the way to bringing the brain back into medicine, okay? Because there's a correlation. Once you hear these interviews or look at your own life, you'll totally see how you can change this. The other gentleman who is joined us on the Hangout is Dr. Keith Wallace. And I have to say, what a beautiful soul. You may feel our connection as we're talking, but he also talks about gut crisis because, you know, in America as well, with the amount of gut, you know, incidents, the correlation to glyphosates and things like that. We'll talk about toxins with Dan Pompa, with Dr. Frank Lipman. We talk about that with Dr. Vincent, with Dr. Tom O'Brien. But, you know, Dr. Tom O'Brien produced the movie series, the Betrayal series. We have as a free gift an introductory to that from him. He's amazing as well. And Dr. Keith, his knowledge of physiology, of cosmic consciousness, of the unified field in science, but also the gut crisis, how you can heal your body and mind, is really beautiful. His work goes for decades. So I'd love for you to tap into a couple of those interviews, particularly if you're quite aware, if you have sensitivities to food, but also environment, and Steph Safandos as well. So hopefully that helps. And for the women, you know who my go-to women are on hormone, adrenal health, beauty, skin. I've mentioned them. Any questions, I would love for you to come to the Facebook group and ask. So again, just to net it out, wrap up. Maybe even while we're on the line together, you're listening, just grab a blank piece of paper. Got a blank piece of paper. Write down the 7 days, because we start from Thursday, right? The 25th. Write down the 7 days, you know. Let's get your 7-day calendar ready on the 25th, right to the 31st, just like that. Now what I want you to write up the top is your number 1 goal. And I want you to, because I think you've already listened to me enough, hopefully you felt it from me and my knowing and knowledge, because I've worked with so many people in breakthroughs over the years that have completely transformed their health. Sometimes after one conversation, everything can change. Write down your number 1 goal and your number 1 opportunity. And then I want you to write down on the bottom, I'm kind of feeling I'm going to get a cheat sheet ready for you guys as a bonus from me to you, why being healthy and thriving and healthy is going to help you do what you love to do, to be the good in you, who you really are. It could be for you individually or for you to help others as well. I know there's a few folks here who are coaches, practitioners that want to be able to you know, enrich their knowledge. And, you know, knowledge and information is power. And the more you enrich your mind and your heart and your soul around a collective of really, you know, aware and knowledgeable folks, it really does rub off on you. So hang out in the Facebook group. We're going to be there. And as you can see, I'm kind of communicative. I'm going to be there and help you. So then mark out on the 7 days who and which interview you're going to want to schedule in your calendar and when. Can you please, I invite you to block some time out now. Block it in. Put a star there and block in the time. And maybe you might allocate an hour and a half and pick 3 interviews. Maybe you might allocate 2 hours on that day for you. Or you've come home from work, you've attended to the family, the children are asleep, and you're going to stay up that extra time, or you're going to wake up that extra early, or you're going to break out at lunchtime, or you're going to listen commuting. So have a little plan. And then, you know, you pull over on the road and you set your iPhone up or your Samsung or your device or your iPad to tune in and play the interviews. And if, you know, don't freak out if you don't get to all of them. We will launch them again, 9 a.m. USA Eastern Standard Time, 24 hours. They'll be up. 38 interviews over 7 days. And the 3-frame protocol. So once you're clear on what you want, you're going to start questioning yourself, high-quality questions about what is the root cause or what you isolate or identify as 2 or 3 of the key symptoms caused by a factor that could be overwhelming, could be confronting, it could be holding you back or hindering the health. Have a look at that, okay? Then I want you to look and listen to strategies of how you can detox safely, move a few foods out of the picture for a week or 2. That's all. Just give yourself a break. You've come this far, you can make a little tweak. And so look and see what you can clean up the mess, declutter your environment, clean out, you know, your wardrobe, clean out your kitchen cupboard, go and look at some recipes and the guides or the gifts, and actually just go to the grocery store, or go to the farmer's market, go to the local biodynamics farmer's market, like go and have some fun and find some new foods to play with that are whole foods, not in cans and not in packets, whole foods. Go and meet the local farmer's market maybe. Just do something different, but, you know, clean up the mess by re-inventorizing what's going to help you feel healthy around you, okay? And similarly with the body, some of the detox protocols and things like that are going to be incredibly enlightening for you. And then what can you do and put in place in your timetable and schedule to create more healthful habits? Don't try and do 50 at once. Just do one thing and do that for a few days. Layer it up with another thing a few days. That's going to help you regenerate, rest, relax, release, rehabilitate, and create a sustainable foundation so that you can heal yourself, your life, and your body on the level that you want to, because you can. So please join us in the Facebook community if you're not already. Thank you so much for being here. Awesome questions. I think I covered all the questions. I've given myself a little bit of extra work here, like the fun surprises and games. We'll have for you some surprises. I'll talk to Dr. Audrey about those. And then the timetable. So again, thank you for being here. You're not alone. There's a whole group of community. Ask questions. Please do not be shy. Any question is a good question, okay? Some of you are already sharing amongst yourselves. This is beautiful to see. Great community. Tag me, ask me questions. I will be on often, and we'll be watching the interviews with you, pre-recorded. If you have questions, let us know. I want you to enjoy this summit, and thank you for being here. Any other final questions, thoughts? Okay, I see some folks already posting in Facebook. That's awesome. All right. Thank you again, healthygutexperts.com. Share it with your friends, family, colleagues. Hopefully some of this information has been helpful logistically as well, and we'd love for you to join us every day this week. Okay, see you soon.